Hi everyone, and welcome to, you guessed it, another character design video. Today's video is actually going to be a character redesign video, since I'll be redrawing some designs I drew a pretty long time ago. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm taking a break from my weapon-themed character design series to draw these two, and I'm drawing two, isn't that crazy? I do want to add more characters to that series, but honestly, I couldn't find an Elden Ring weapon I was motivated enough to turn into a character, so here we are. That doesn't mean, however, that these two characters don't have interactions with the characters in the weapon design series. I'll get into more specific lore later on in the video, so look forward to that, I guess. In any case, though, the two characters I'm sketching here were originally designed in 2018, I believe. And needless to say, their designs were in need of some improvements. I'll post the original sketches here, and a sketchbook tour featuring that entire sketchbook may or may not be coming to a theater near you very soon, so get excited for that. As you can see, the original sketches didn't have any color, so I got to play around with that a lot in the redesign. And the right character, who I've decided to name Vesh, didn't even have a full body sketch, so I got to think about what legs look like. Oh, legs, the bane of my existence. I mean, hands are hard and I always leave them till the end, but legs too are like, got problems with some legs. Also feet and hands, as I said. It's fun out here. I love drawing. I think when I first drew these characters, I hadn't intended for them to be at all related to each other. I mean, even in the original sketchbook, the character on the left, Chalice, I'm calling her Chalice, she was like on the first page of the sketchbook, and then Vesh isn't until like halfway through the sketchbook, so yeah, they're really not related. But in this video, I wanted to draw more than one character, so I decided that they should be paired up in some way. Since I got to play with colors, it ended up working out pretty well because I was able to choose a cohesive palette. You can probably tell, based off the mask, that I was really into Breath of the Wild when I drew Vesh, like the first time. That was my big Zelda kick back then. So there's some very clear Sheikah inspiration in there. Or I guess Yiga, because it's like kind of the Yiga clan, but whatever. I decided to lean into that aesthetic and choose dark red and dark blue for the main colors, as they are heavily featured in the Sheikah and Yiga designs in the game. But since I didn't want both characters to have an identical color palette, I chose to add some cream colored elements with Vesh and some brown colored elements with the character on the left, who, as I said, is named Chalice. Then, because I cannot resist adding shiny bits, both characters have gold patterning and jewelry. I'd say I haven't really added patterns to my pieces very often. Maybe with the Knight of Tarnished Mirrors. I forgot their name, but whatever. This is kind of the first time I'm really getting more into patterns. I went with geometric ones because they're easy, and at least my computer can help me draw straight-ish lines. But I'm currently, spoilers, drawing a character that has more organic patterns, and I'm having a lot of fun deciding how clothes and patterns should look. It's a great time. Back to the actual video though. This was also the drawing where I remembered that I create the narrative, I create it, which means that I can make everyone look cool. And to me, that means adding in piercings and scars wherever I want. Isn't it awesome being an artist? I can literally draw whatever I want, and no one can stop me. Ear piercings? Yeah, sure. Snake bites and eyebrow piercings? Why not? I love it here. I'm gonna do it. So yeah, that was the design philosophy here, if I can even say that. Composition-wise, this piece was a pretty big step up for me. I almost never draw multiple characters in a single piece, and it shows. I tried pretty hard to switch off between working on them so that I wouldn't completely finish one and then get too fatigued with the other that I would never finish them. That has happened to me in the past, so that was definitely a smart choice. Unsurprisingly, fully rendering two full bodies, two portraits, and some extraneous elements took me way longer than any of my previous videos. I think it was maybe 14 hours in all, which is a lot for me, and usually my pieces take 4 or 5, so yeah, significant amount of work. Some of that also has to do with the level of detail, since there are a lot of patterns here, and I don't, as I said, have much experience with patterns. Overall though, I'd say that I really like this style of character sheet, and I'm definitely going to add these sort of extra elements in the future because I think it looks way more interesting. Like, just having a full body is good, but also having like the little silhouette in the bottom left corner here, or like portraits or something like that, I like it. So yeah, depending on the character, I'll probably add a portrait or two with like maybe a hat or a mask or something, tiny silhouette that shows the color palette and then the back of the character, and maybe a more detailed drawing of their weapon. Those are just general ideas, but yeah, the world is my oyster. I control the narrative. I can do whatever I want. Awesome. And I also think adding these things will allow me to think more about the character and their lore, so it's a win. Speaking of lore, that was a pretty good segue, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Time to talk about lore. So although these two aren't a part of the weapon series of character designs, I think they definitely fit into the world aesthetically, so you know, I'm gonna make it happen. In particular, I think they'd cross paths with Talon pretty regularly, and maybe we'd get a cameo from Ensa, you know, just for fun, because I can. Chalice and Vesh are both bounty hunters who are usually contracted to hunt down either people or monsters, depending on the manner of contract. They're pretty high rollers, so their usual clientele are the wealthy, who likely want them to go after people, let's be honest. You know how noble scheme or whatever. But they're also known to take contracts from the occasional town person whose like chickens have been getting eaten by some unknown beast or something like that, yeah. Since Talon is a scout or outrider, yeah, remember him? Yeah. He's a very helpful source of information if Chalice and Vesh are looking for someone who's, you know, run away or whatever. So, or like honestly hunting contracts could also be helpful. So that's why they cross paths pretty frequently. I imagine that Talon gets along better with Vesh since they're both sort of serious types, whereas Chalice is a bit too loud and abrasive for him. Also, if y'all recall in Talon's video, I said that he's slowly losing the ability to understand and speak human language. That's why he, you know, get the bird powers, lose the language, whatever. So a lot of Chalice's jokes go completely over his head. Talon doesn't give out information on every contract though. My computer is so loud, I hope y'all can't hear it. Maybe I'll unplug it and the fan will cool off. What was I saying? Yeah, Talon doesn't give out information on every contract though, since he's got a bit of a stricter moral code, sort of, and doesn't like to dish on people he thinks doesn't deserve it. Their relationship is friendly-ish, or at least not hostile, but definitely strictly business. As for how Chalice and Vesh met, they were both tracking down a griffin. Yes, I've decided that griffins exist in this universe now. So they were tracking down a griffin for a contract and were actually more competitors than friends, but still like with a healthy respect for each other's craft, oh, she's pretty good at this. Oh, he's pretty good at this, like that. They both had the awesome luck to run into Ensa while on this contract, and while Ensa isn't known to be immediately aggressive when they run into humans, this was, lore flashback, this was directly after they had escaped Ultra Jail, or whatever I'm calling it. So yeah, Ensa was understandably upset. Thus, Chalice and Vesh had no choice but to work together, and found that their skill sets are actually pretty well matched. Chalice being suited to close range, she's got a sword that I forgot to render, don't look at it, and Vesh being suited to far. Also, since Chalice traditionally has done human bounty contracts and Vesh monster ones, they each have contacts in their respective fields for like information, which can make a prospective partnership pretty profitable. So there's also that incentive to partner up. So in the end, their partnership lasted through the Griffin contract, and after a bit of consideration, they decided to become partners. Of course, I don't imagine their partnership to be without arguments, as they were both previously sort of lone wolf types, but as the years have passed, they've become reliable friends. Vesh even tolerates Chalice's bad jokes and puns, and Chalice has more or less warmed up to Tirza, who's Vesh's cat. I don't know Tirza's lore. I know she's a cute cat, that's it. but I'm sure she has some sort of trait that makes her helpful with the pair's work, so I guess there's that. So that's about it on lore and design. Before this video ends, I just want to talk about my upload schedule for a second, in the next minute. So I'm a college student, and the semester is starting for me soon, and I'm becoming an exchange student, so I'll be moving to another country and studying abroad for the next 6 months, which means that at the time this video uploads, I might be kind of busy. I might not be able to upload. I might miss 2 Mondays before I'm back on schedule. So yeah, I have some sketchbook tours in the rafters that I can throw out whenever I need to, but yeah, just be ready for that. I'm gonna try to draw, but I don't know how much time I'll have when I'm moving in and everything, so yeah. But that's all for me. That's my update. Thank you guys so much for watching this character design video. I know I had a lot of fun with it. I know I want to draw more elaborate characters like this in the future, so yeah. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye!